Welcome to Dragonfire Financial. How I paid off $110,000. I got out of debt by going against popular advice and doing one thing different. Hi, a little about me. I own and operate a successful real estate and property management firm. I have crawled my way out of debt and I am now pursuing FIRE. Financial independence, retire early. This channel is everything financial. I talk about personal finance, investing, business, and how to reach financial independence. So, if these topics interest you and you want to find out the one thing I did differently to get out of debt, subscribe to my channel and like this video. I had credit cards, car payments, loans, and what most people call good debt since I was 18. When I was in my 20s, I started trying to have the goal of getting out of debt. I was a struggling college student living on my own for the first time. I was barely making $10 an hour, and I just did not see how it could be done. I read all the trending books at the time about getting out of debt and growing wealth, as well as watching countless TV shows with each new expert explaining how to get out of debt, and it just did not click with me. I just could not figure out how to pay down debt when I made so little. And how could I make more money when I was still a college student? So, what did I do? I basically gave up. I came to the conclusion that working your 9 to 5, paying minimum payments, and charging everyday items, such as groceries and gas, were normal. I continued with the struggle for years, graduated college, started my professional career, even started a business, but still just kept trucking along with the minimum payments. Then one weekend while I was surfing YouTube, I discovered Dave Ramsey. I watched several of his videos, watched the entire series of Financial University, and listened to his audiobook. I was inspired. He had helped so many people and for so many years. It sounded like a plan I could do, but would it be that easy? I decided by the end of that weekend that I was going to get started immediately and give it a try. I started saving a $1,000 emergency fund. Many people say this is not enough, and I agree, but at the time I didn't even have that. Any emergency would go on a credit card, that is, as long as it wasn't maxed out. I had no backup. I decided to get serious and intentional. My plan was to start saving $20 per month. That's all I could do, but once I got started, I found ways to save more. Before I knew it, it had taken me a little over 2 months and I had saved the $1,000. That felt like a huge win. I had done it. Now it was time to start tackling my debts. The plan was to pay off the lowest to highest balance and work through them until they were paid off. My lowest balance was a credit card with a $3,000 balance. I did not have much extra, but I worked on it month by month, and it started to get paid down. After a real estate commission, I was able to pay it off. In total, it took about 6 months. I was hooked. I have saved an emergency fund and paid off a credit card. I was going to keep going. However, I was still concerned about my financial security. As a single parent, it worried me putting so much towards debts. I was broke every month and living paycheck to paycheck. I did not have the extra time for a side hustle or second job. I knew I had to make a decision that would change our lives, but I couldn't be reckless. I needed to do what I thought was a safe decision. I could continue with the next smallest balance, but after analyzing all my debts to the point of analysis paralysis, I considered that I had two options to pay off the debts. Option 1 was to work on paying off debts from the smallest to largest balance. The second option was to work on paying off debts from the highest interest rate to lowest interest rate. But I finally came to the conclusion that I was going to have to create an option 3 and pay off my highest minimum payment debt next. I did not know if this would be the right decision, but I knew if I could free up that large monthly payment, it would change my life. Being in real estate, income was not consistent. I worried, what if I can't make enough? What if I get sick and can't work as much? What if the real estate market crashed? The worrying wart in me took over. I knew there was a chance that I would not be able to complete my debt-free journey. If I had to stop for any reason, I wanted to benefit from any progress I had made. The highest monthly minimum payment would do that. At the time, my largest debt besides my mortgage was a HELOC, and the minimum payment was $700 per month. It happened to also be the lowest interest rate debt. If I listened to any of the get out of debt gurus, that was not the one to tackle yet. But I knew I needed to eliminate that $700 per month bill, so I started. It did not get paid off fast. It took me nearly a year and a half to pay it off. It may have prolonged my debt-free journey by following this plan, but what a relief. I just freed up an extra $700 per month, so I did it again. I had a $30,000 balance on a credit card, and the minimum payment was over $500 per month. I was able to apply the freed up $700 to my payment, and now I was paying over $1,200 each month. It took what seemed like no time at all to pay it off in full. By the time I worked through my debts following this strategy, I was able to pay some of the smaller debts off in only 1 or 2 payments. When I had decided to get debt-free, the plan was not going to be to count my car as one of the debts. Ironically, I bought a new car right when I started this journey, a no-no in the Dave Ramsey circle.
Stupid! Stupid!
But I thought having the car payment would just be part of my regular monthly expenses. Once my other debts were paid off, I just enjoyed life. A weight had been lifted from my shoulders. I was living comfortably. I was not using credit cards and being disciplined about not accruing debt, but that was about it. After about 6 months, I realized I was floundering. I worked on finishing up saving the additional 3 to 6 month emergency savings. But I was spending a lot of money and not doing anything productive with it. I realized that I needed a new financial goal. And I was learning that I operated well with a financial goal to achieve. So, I decided to pay off my car. I started doubling the payments, and in the end I wanted it paid off so bad. I did what I could to pay any extra I could squeeze. After my car was paid off, I knew immediately now I needed a new financial goal. I was inspired by the FIRE movement, Financial Independence, Retire Early, and I wanted to pursue financial independence. I did not know anything about investing, and I was suffering from indecision for a while. I knew I needed to get started, but who wants to lose money in the stock market? I set aside $500 per month to get started. I decided to play with my mind and think of it as play money. I had the mindset that I did not need it and I did not care if I lost it. That really helped me just get started. As I became more comfortable with investing, I started creating investment goals. If you are in debt, don't be discouraged. Save an emergency fund. Make a plan on how you are going to pay off your debts, whether you pay off the lowest balances first, the highest interest rates first, or do what I did and eliminate the highest minimum payment first. You can do it. Just get started.